$93 in the bank, and our only expenses are the ones are recurring storage for the club's assets, and then also Zoom so that we can meet virtually. And we also had a pass through of $380 that we donated to the Young Dems for their period drive. So that money came in and went out. So thank you everyone for donating. And also, if there's been a few people, two people that paid for your dues twice. I already refunded the first person. So if you did pay your dues twice on accident, you'll see an extra $25 be sent back to you shortly. So if you have any questions, please let me know too.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Appreciate it. To give a quick update on our membership numbers, right now we are at 136 dues paying members. We do have emails that do go out when you are in that kind of grace period, that 7-day period before you're about to expire. If you ever do need to check on your dues, you can always email us at miamibeachdems@gmail.com. And from there, we will always just make sure, let you know when your dues are set to expire. I think that's what we have right now. So Steve has let me know that we did reach quorum. We'd like to go and take the minutes from our February meeting. Again, those are always available on our website as soon as they are available. They were sent out as part of our email on Friday and then again this morning. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from our February 2021 meeting? Motion by Tim, seconded by Amanda. Is there any discussion on our minutes from February? Seeing no discussion. All those in favor of approving our minutes from February 2021, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? All right, perfect. Motion carries and the minutes from February 2021 were approved. We will go ahead and move into committee reports. Is David Geller on? He is not on right now, I don't believe, for a campaign committee report. All right, we will do move into communications.
Hello, everyone.
Steve?
Steve Hawes here. Hello, everyone. So about comms have been about the same month over month. We send about generally one email a week to our list of 3,900. We text you guys for important events, our social media. You know, we have it around 1,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram and 700 on Twitter. And we'll just get slightly increasing those followers month over month. So everything's going about the same. I did want to point out one thing. Miami-Dade Dems are having a press conference tomorrow about the American Rescue Plan. This is very important because we want to make sure as many people as possible know about when you elect Democrats, good things happen. We want to take credit for it. So it's a big press event. It's going to be tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. at the Torch of Friendship, 301 Biscayne. By the way, feel free to reach out to me if you want more information about this. Apparently, the Miami-Dade Dems doesn't publish something like this on the web, but we can share the information informally, which is why I'm saying it now. So it's going to be at the Torch of Friendship at 1:30 tomorrow. Speakers include Steve Simeonides, Debbie McCarshall Powell, our own Lucia Baez Geller, and notably also a restaurant owner from Miami Beach named Max Pierre. He owns Simply Good Pizza. They want to have some small business owners talk about the American Rescue Plan, as well as another. So again, reach out to us. I'm going to drop a bunch of contact info in the chat for you. And if you're interested in attending in person, that would be great. 1:30 tomorrow at the Torch of Friendship. And I think that's about it for the communications.
Thank you so much, Steve. Next up, we will have Aaron Bosley give us a neighborhood and building organizing update.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all. Sort of 3 updates. The first priority that I've been having is doing one-on-ones. So thank you for those who have reached out. Cheryl, I see you're on, and I owe you a one-on-one, and I'm looking forward to talking with you. But thank you for reaching out. And thank you to Jeff and Steve and everyone else who's reached out and expressed interest in that sort of one-on-one meeting, which is part of the second stage of the organizing plan, which is really asset mapping the community, right? Because I'm completely of the belief that just within the members of our group, we have access to an unbelievable amount of organizations, neighborhood associations, community groups, know who does what. And the way we're thinking is, you know, when it comes to that period that we all volunteer so much for, that we all do so much for, in that month or two before the election, when everything's crazy and it's hard to figure out how to use our time the best, how can we do all the things now that we're going to wish, you know, we do now that at that moment we're going to wish we did in the past. So that's what that asset mapping looks like. And it starts with the one-on-one contributions everyone wants to make. The next thing we're going to do fairly soon is start having a standing meeting, like a lot of the other committees, which will be sort of an open forum. We're not quite there, but we're going to start doing that. So it's for anyone who's interested in the idea of the Stacey Abrams model, the idea of thinking ahead. You know, you're sort of thinking about, I know I like to volunteer during the elections and don't necessarily know what to do in the on-ramp to the elections. This is the thing. So basically, if you have energy, if you have time, if you have connections, whatever you have, we'll turn that into something that builds infrastructure for our club and helps us organize Miami Beach.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for that great update. And I know you can always email us at miamibeachdems@gmail.com. And if you don't have the appropriate person's contact information for our committees, we'll always make sure we get it passed along as well. Next up, we will have Amanda Knapp with an outreach committee update.
Hi. So very short. Thank you for everyone who donated for the period drive. We raised $380, which I think was more than our food drive. So thank you so much. And it's great. We're collaborating with the Young Dems, and we've made a connection, and we've offered our assistance with anything they have in the future. And then we're also working on finding out about us participating in the AIDS Walk Miami. It doesn't seem they've released the information yet, but that's usually in May or April. So look for those emails once we have the confirmed dates.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Next up, we'll go to Bill Warren with a program committee update.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see everybody again this month, as usual. Let's see, program, I see Cheryl is on, one of our program committee members, and I don't know about Angel and Stephanie, but we are pretty much right now the program committee. We've been meeting, and we have well, we was trying to put this event together for the end of next month, but unfortunately, some of the speakers that we had in mind that we were trying to line up, it doesn't look like they're going to come through. We're going to give them until maybe the middle of this week, and if it doesn't, then we're going to pivot. And I had the opportunity to talk to Matt today, and we came up with some other ideas that we're going to explore as far as what we want to have as our next event. But please stay tuned. But also in the chat, I put for anybody who would, and we would welcome everybody to please feel free to join us for our meetings. I put in the chat the date and the time for our meeting on Wednesday and my email address. If anyone is interested in joining our meeting, please drop me an email and I will respond with the Zoom link for the meeting on Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening at 5:30. So we're always looking for new people, new ideas, but we're really going to try to pull something off before the end of April for the club. So yeah, join us on Wednesday if you can. Otherwise, if you have ideas or anything, just please feel free to drop me an email. Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you so much, Bill. Appreciate it. And always, if anybody wants to get involved, you're always welcome to, like I always say, send us an email, and we will make sure we get the appropriate committee chairperson. This evening, we decided to not have any guest speakers just due to our March elections. We typically don't have any guest speakers during our March elections. And we also didn't want to plan for guest speakers and have an abnormally long meeting in case our elections took a long time. So with that, we are going to move into just our next item of business, which is the Florida legislative session resolution. So we've been talking to you all a lot about some of the bills, the bad bills that are happening in Tallahassee right now. And there are a lot of them. What we also heard last month from City of Miami Beach Commissioner Mickey Steinberg, as well as Melba Pearson, really talking about some of those bad bills that are going on in Tallahassee. And we felt like it was an important next step for us to pass a resolution that we can send not only to our state representative, Michael Grieco, and State Senator Jason Pizzo, who are very, very, very good on our issues, but we just want to remind them about some of our democratic values that we hold very strong to us back home in Miami Beach as they're up there in Tallahassee, so that they can always be thinking about those when bills are coming across their desk. So with that, we've sent out the link to the resolution previously. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. I don't do this very often, so forgive me. I'm going to do that and go ahead and put this up here. Give me just 1 second. I can figure out how to do this. I think I could do it like this. Can everybody see just this resolution that's up here?
Yes.
I guess I just made it smaller. Okay, perfect. So I won't read this word for word. Sorry, I'll try to make it be a little bit bigger so you can all see it there. Essentially what it is that we as the Miami Beach Democratic Club have a certain set of values that we want to make sure that our elected representatives from the city of Miami Beach and all representatives in Tallahassee or from all across Florida, but when they're up in Tallahassee, that they try to work towards adhering. Those are things that include healthcare, the environment, wages, non-discrimination for every single person, open and free fair elections, robust K through 12 education system, as well as higher education system, common sense gun safety regulations, workers and union rights, First Amendment protections, and protections for our immigrant population, amongst many other things. And then the resolution goes on and says that, whereas the Florida legislature is contemplating hundreds of bad bills this legislative session that go against our values, and while there are dozens of really, 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 really bad bills that are out there, here are just some of the few that we are taking a very strong stance and saying these are things that we want to make sure that you are keeping us in mind when you're back home or when you're up in Tallahassee, and you are making sure that you are voting against them. And so it goes on and it lists some of these bills, which include bills dealing with, we've heard about House Bill 1 from Melba Pearson, the anti-riot, anti-protest bill. There's a very bad charter school and voucher bill that's out there. There's a lot of pro-worker preemption bills that would preempt Tallahassee ordinances at a local level, but Tallahassee's preempting them, local governments allowing them to be used. Raising the threshold by which citizen amendments must pass to change the Constitution. Oftentimes, the Republican Party in Tallahassee is not listening to the entire electorate of Florida. And, right now that threshold is at 60%. They want to raise that to 66 2/3% to pass the Constitution or to pass to change the Constitution. Massive changes to the Florida retirement system, very much changing the way Bright Future scholarships work and who is eligible to get those scholarships and which degrees you are actually seeking when you're getting those scholarships. Massive overhaul to the elections, changing vote by mail ballots and vote by mail drop boxes, which we've heard a lot about. Again, more anti-worker legislation, preempting energy infrastructure to Tallahassee and others. So this is the resolution that we have before you today. So that we can open up for proper discussion, I would like to entertain a motion to approve this resolution, which our board has unanimously approved this last week. So is there a motion to approve this? Sorry, I can't see everybody, so I'm going to assume that there is one. Sorry, how do I do this? We'll stop sharing the screen. A motion by Amanda, and is there a second? Second by Linda Coco. Thank you. Sorry, I had everybody in a really, really small box, so I couldn't see anybody's faces at all.
Like okay. We couldn't unmute ourselves, but now we can.
Perfect. Okay, good. Is there a motion by Amanda to approve? Second by Linda Coco. Is there any discussion on this resolution?
I have a question.
Yes, Janet.
I mean, I don't disagree with anything that's in there, clearly, but like, does this actually do anything? Like, is there,
No, it doesn't.
I'm not saying does it do anything like, will it change something immediately, but does anybody really care? I mean,
so we thought it was a good symbolic gesture to re-remind State Representative Michael Grieco and State Senator Jason Pizzo that these are issues that we really care about back home, because, and as somebody who does do lobbying in Tallahassee, it's very easy to get caught up in what's going on up there. And I'm not saying that they forget what's going on, but we just want to re-remind them that the folks back home your constituents. We are watching, we're paying close attention, and there's a lot of really bad bills, and we are really hoping that you represent us very well while you're up there. So it's not going to have any substantive changes to what they do, but we are just trying to say, hey, listen, there's some bad bills out there, and we want you to make sure you're standing up for us.
But in general, I mean, Democrats are not going to vote for these bills. If these bills get passed,
No.
because they're going to get passed against Democratic,
Correct.
So
Correct.
I mean, I have no issue with sending it. I just, that's all. I just wanted to know if it would make it.
Yes, it is more of a symbolic thing. Yes.
Well,
Linda.
Yeah, hi, Linda Kuhl.
I also,
Go ahead, Amanda, then I'll.
oh, you go
ahead,
first,
Amanda.
Linda.
Oh, okay, the only thing I'm gonna say.
Okay, I was just gonna, oh,
May I speak? or you
Linda,
wanna go?
Linda, and then Amanda.
Okay, it's just gonna be quick. Okay, as you know, I recently moved here from Maryland, strong Democratic state. We did a lot of lobbying in Annapolis, et cetera. And of course, we had a Democratic controlled Senate and House of Delegates. I am shocked coming here to see how many Republicans and these horrible bills. I think it's very important that we take a stand. And we also tell our friends and neighbors, do you see what's happening in Tallahassee? Listen to these horrible bills. Thank God the Herald and WLRN cover it. But we got to get the word out. We got to get more Democratic state legislatures. This is outrageous, the stuff they want to do. Anyway, thanks. That's my point.
Amanda?
yeah, I agree. But Matthew, you did mention something that maybe everyone else will find interesting about Jason, how he is the chair of some committees. So that I think that's also why we did it as well.
So House Bill 1, which is the anti-riot, anti-protest bill, and Senate Bill 484, its kind of companion. Senator Jason Pizzo chairs the Criminal Justice Committee, and that bill's first committee of reference is criminal justice. Senator Pizzo is in a very unique position to either put that bill on the agenda or to not hear that bill at all, to help really influence those changes. He is a Democrat in the minority in the Senate, and he's one of 3 Democrats that chairs a committee in the Senate, along with Senator Lauren Book in Broward and Senator Dare Roussan, who is in the Tampa Bay region, Pinellas County area. So they're in very unique positions as Democrats that are chairing very substantive policy committees. These aren't just fluff committees. These are committees where a lot of real substantive bills go through. And so we certainly want to, make sure that he knows, again, back at home. I think, Linda, I think you said it very well too. We need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to get more Democrats elected across the state. We just want to make sure that we remind our representatives that these are bills that we don't like, that we don't care for, and we want to make sure that you hopefully represent us well.
I have one more question. Sorry, but in the vein of getting more Democrats elected, I was reading an article today that it was about real estate, but it was saying that seriously something like 30,000 people moved here from San Francisco. Like the Bay Area is packing up and moving to Florida, and we got to figure out how to reach these people and register them.
Yes.
I mean, if they're really moving here permanently, this is something. I mean, I get very frustrated in the last election cycle because there's so many people between the state party and the county and us and swing left and indivisible, and everybody's doing the same thing, and it doesn't seem like anything's coordinated. And I mean, I don't know how Stacey Abrams and the 3 groups she worked with did it, but we got to figure out that formula as Democrats and do it, because there's people that are ripe from the picking. If they're moving here from New York
Absolutely.
or San Francisco, they're probably Democrats.
Absolutely. Yeah. Linda, did you have another comment? I'm sorry. No, you're good.
Yeah, I had a comment.
Oh, go ahead.
Bradley does.
Hi, I'm Brad. I'm usually
Brad.
pretty quiet. Quick, I used to work for Steve Geller in the Florida Senate about 20 years ago. I was his staff attorney. I might have filmed David Geller's breasts. I filmed one of them. So anyway, my question is, I see this legislative thing. It's great. It's a great crutch when they need it to say, hey, look, this is why I did it. And anyway, I don't see anything on here about marijuana. I don't see anything pro marijuana or any position on that. Is there a reason why we're not embracing that, because that's bringing people into the fold. People care about that. A lot of this stuff is just kind of buzzwords for the
Sure.
engaged. But I don't know if that's been given any thought, but can we talk about that?
We absolutely can. And listen, Brad, thank you. I love Senator Geller. Love him up in Broward County. He's the mayor there too. Thank you for your service there. As far as this, it was not meant to be a fully expansive, completely exhaustive list of democratic values or bills. We were predominantly focusing on some of the bad legislation in Tallahassee, not even some of the good stuff either, because the bad stuff has as you know, has a much higher chance of actually passing. And a lot of the good stuff is filed by Democrats and doesn't have a chance of passing. If I don't know the bill number off the top of my head for the caps on THC for the medical marijuana, but if that's something we'd like to add to this, I think we would certainly be open to amending this to include that as well.
All right.
If there's no objection, I will add that bill number 2 here. Again, we're trying to focus more on the bad stuff that's happening, because again, like I said, that has higher chance of actually passing. We want to, send that strong signal. We weren't including some of the things like, marijuana. Obviously it's very broad, and I know there's several bills that are filed on it. Things like making it be recreational, changing the way there's a couple of the pieces of legislation that are out there as well. That have been filed, but again, focusing on the bad stuff. But I will absolutely amend that to include that as well. Any further discussion on the resolution?
I think that's awesome. Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that's awesome too, because marijuana is, everyone, whatever, but young people especially, and that can get them, that we can energize. Is it on the are we voting on it this year or next year?
No. So there's a bill in Tallahassee that would lower the THC levels. They're currently capped in law as far as how much could be in flowers, as well as and anything else that's not flowers. So yes, medical marijuana, yes. So they're trying to lower it. So they're looking at it as Democrats are calling it an increased tax, because if the potency levels of the medical marijuana that you're purchasing at your dispensary are lowered, you are most likely going to be buying more, which means it's more taxes and more money that's going back to the state. It's going to hurt those people more. It goes against the patient, and it goes against what the doctors want. Nobody wants this other than a few Republican legislators in Tallahassee.
I'm a patient.
Thanks, Amanda.
I'm a patient, and I just want to say it's a total rip-off scam of how much you have to pay the state and the doctors. I think this could be really good for
cool.
Getting young people involved.
All right, well, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor of approving the resolution as amended, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I had a comment I wanted to say about this after we're done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Vote. Okay.
My comment is, Ileana had a good comment, which is, hey, let's publish this on social media. So we do have a link to the Google Doc, which I can put, but Matt, you're actually going to add another bill there with the marijuana.
Yes.
So everyone, if you're interested, take the link to this that I'm going to post in the chat, and then give Matt, I don't know how long it would take you later.
Shortly after this meeting is over.
Shortly after this meeting
is over, yes.
And then you can look at the document yourself, and you can share that link on your social media too.
Yeah, but it's a long document. I think we need short on a couple, maybe do a couple of the education bills together, and then another post about criminal justice, or whatever. Because no one's going to look at that whole thing except us, because we're members of the club.
We can, Steve, we can chat offline and see what we can do to turn this into a fun little graphic or something. Maybe there's a little JPEG or a PNG file or whatever you call those, that we can get that ready to go.
Not a bad idea. Sure.
All right. All right. Well, with that, our resolution for the Florida legislative session has been approved, and we will next move on to our March Board of Directors elections. So as of right now, we have positions for Vice President, Secretary, Parliamentarian, Board of Directors number 1 and Board of Directors number 3. So we're going to take these one by one by one. We're going to open up the floor for any additional nominations from the floor. If none of these are contested, we are going to approve each one of them by acclamation on a voice vote. If one of them does become contested, we are prepared to use the election buddy system as we used last June, as well as I think last September, October, to actually conduct the vote, which will be done via your email. We've sent out all these instructions. We've put them on our blog. We've been highlighting them on our social media. So hopefully you're all very well aware and have probably participated in the election buddy system as well. So we will start with Vice President first. And then from there, what we will do is we will allow each candidate 2 minutes to speak. If they would like that 2 minutes, their bios have been sent out. We will open the floor for any additional nominations and we'll move on from there. So first up, we will have a Vice President. We have Amanda Knapp, who is the candidate right now for Vice President. Amanda, you've got 2 minutes to speak. Give me 1 second. Let me get a timer ready. All right, and start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda. I think Jack is going to be barking in the background, so sorry. My mom said to keep this short and don't bore you. Most of you should know who I am. I'm the outreach chair and one of our board of directors. I've been involved with the club since we reorganized it about 3 years ago. I was the outreach chair first, and then I got elected to be on the board. I do most of our community service events and social events, and I just really love our club, our community, and I will continue to work hard. If you guys support me to become the vice president, work with Matthew and the rest of the board. And my main goal is to continue getting Democrats elected here in Miami Beach, here in the state, and here in the country, so we can hopefully make Florida blue next year and get rid of this whack job governor. So thank you, and I hope I can count on your support.
Thank you, Amanda. You did well at only 59 seconds. You did fantastic.
My mom said, you don't want to bore the people.
You did well. You did well. We'll just go to open up the floor. Are there any additional nominations for vice president? Hearing none, we will close the nominations. And by acclamation, Amanda, you are the vice president of Miami Beach Democratic Club. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Brava, brava.
All right. Next up, we have Secretary Janet Silverman. Janet, same thing. You've got 2 minutes. Go for it. Take it away.
Janet, you're on mute.
Sorry, okay. So I got really inspired. Hi, I'm Janet Silverman. I said already, but I was on mute. So I got really inspired in 2010 when Obama ran, and it coincided with the things in my life that my professional life got a little less crazy, and so I started getting really involved in volunteering and campaigning, mostly for him. I went a little nuts and drove around to different states where I thought he might lose and knocked on doors in like 4 states. And then I just stayed involved. And then I moved here in 2008 with Obama. Then I moved here in 2010, and I moved to Miami Beach in 2015, and have gotten involved in the club since then. And just been doing a lot of work with voter registration and sending out postcards and door knocking and all the stuff that we all do. And I like the club a lot. I think it's for me a good way to have an outlet, and I can focus my energies on volunteering, because as I was saying before, there's so many different groups, you can get a little scattered about where you're going to spend some time. So it's good to be able to spend my time with people who I know, because I see you all the time, or at least I Zoom with you all the time now, and you know, do events together and feel like we're, you know, trying to make a difference together. And so I just wanted to get more involved in the leadership of the club, and so that's why I sort of am seeking out this opportunity.
Thank you, Janet. All right. Are there any other additional nominations for the position of secretary for the Miami Beach Democratic Club. The floor is open. See no additional nominations. By acclamation, Janet Silverman, welcome to new position as Secretary of the Miami Beach Democratic Club. Congratulations.
Yay, congrats.
Marcia, sorry. Yeah, Marcia Cunningham, I saw that your hand was raised. That could have been old, and I'm sorry if I missed that, and my sincere apologies. You're good? Okay, perfect. Next up, parliamentarian. We have Jeff Stogler. Jeff, you've got 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Take it away.
Hi everyone. My name is Jeff Stogler. I've been a member for about 2 years now. And when I heard about this opening, I was kind of like, okay, it's time for me to not be the silent guy at these meetings anymore and step up and be a part of the process. So that's kind of why I'm doing it. Previously, I have volunteered with other organizations. I was the director of partnerships for the Winter Party Festival here in Miami Beach. That took up a lot of time. And when that ended, I was like, okay, what else can I do? So very happy to have this opportunity to do this for this club. I've been much more involved in politics. I would actually say I'm much more involved now with Biden because I just feel more positive about things. And so that's kind of given me more of a drive to really affect change. And seeing what I can do with this club, how I can help that as the parliamentarian. Currently, I work for Royal Caribbean. I'm a project manager there, where a lot of the stuff we do is really managing meetings and making sure people follow decorum. You know, it's all about keeping things with follow the orders, follow the rules, but have common sense, have respect, keep it professional. And so I think I can really bring a real positive attitude and making sure that we always stay positive and stay fun. So that's my spiel. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. All right, we will go ahead and open up the floor for any additional nominations for parliamentarian. All right, hearing none, nominations are closed. Congratulations, Jeff. You're a new parliamentarian. Welcome aboard.
Yay, congrats.
All right, next up we have Board of Directors number 1, Aaron Boslin. Take it away. 2 minutes.
Hello, everyone. I've been a member of the Miami Beach Democratic Club about 3 years now, but my interest in politics started when I was 16 years old with the 2004 election. And I grew up in rural central Pennsylvania, one of these areas that the New York Times like to send their reporters to over the last 4 years and interview white men in red hats while wearing safari gear, won 72% for Trump. But at the time when I was 16 and following the 2004 election, the thing that really struck me was that George W. Bush ran a campaign that was basically two things. It was anti-terror and it was anti-gay. And I'm not even sure it was necessarily in that order. And I was a closeted kid. I'd never met a gay person. I'd never heard of a gay person except for one person I knew who had died of AIDS in the 80s before he was 30. And I remember seeing the president of the United States use his positions to come after gay people in that way. And it made me committed to two things. One was that power could be, the more immediate one was that I had to get out of rural central Pennsylvania. But the other was that power could and should be used for different purposes. And as I got older and I started thinking about the way I wanted to be in the world, I ended up moving to Miami in 2012 as a public high school teacher taught in the Miami-Dade County Public Schools with the belief that no kid should look out at the world and think it's not built for them. And I was with a class from their freshman through their senior year. And that has become the basis of everything else I've done as I've gotten more involved in democratic politics, having had roles ranging from LGBT coordinator of the Young Democrats to the vice president of the Young Democrats and executive director of the county party. And in the time since, I've sort of built my life and moved to Miami Beach, which is the first place in my entire life that I've ever come to with the intention of staying. I'm now 9 years in Miami, 3 years in Miami Beach. I found that place that I dreamed of having when I was a 16-year-old kid. I love living here. I love trying to contribute to building what we can be here. And my goal now is to make whatever contributions I can to strengthen our infrastructure and make sure that we're set up for success in the future because we can be so much more than we are, and this is the place it happens.
Thank you so much, Aaron Boslin. I let you have like 3 extra seconds.
You spoiled.
You're so welcome. It's because everybody did so short that you did that. Before I open up the nominations, let me just very quickly respond to Ariel in the comments. Yes, each one of these positions is for the full 2-year term that is open and available. The only ones that are not are the board of directors 2 and 4, which were filled previously. So yes, these are all for the full 2-year terms. So that is correct. Thank you. We'll open up the floor for any additional nominations. Seeing none, by acclamation, Aaron Boston, congratulations. Welcome back to the board of the Miami Beach Democratic Club. Thank you so much.
Yay. Yay. Congrats.
A-team, the A-team.
We're back.
And last but not least, we have board of directors number 3, Oliva Fernandez. You are up. You've got 2 minutes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Oliva, and I'm running for re-election of the board seat number 3. I've held the position since the special elections that we had in this last October. I've been very active with the club as early as 2019. More recently, I was a member of the nominating committee, and I currently co-chair the comms committee with Steve Hawes. And during the 2020 elections, I was very active. I partook in, getting voters to register to vote by mail, getting them signed up. I did phone banking, writing postcards, and I was also very active as a poll watcher, which was an amazing and incredible experience. I went all over, like from Homestead to Miami Lakes to, Little Haiti, to Caleb Joseph. So it was a really learning experience. I believe that it's crucial for our club to partake, and that we are a crucial entity in making sure that we get Florida blue. And I believe also that we have the people and the energy to wield the power so that we can influence. And when we work together, we can do amazing things. And we also do a lot of good in the community. We do food drives, wellness calls. And just recently, I think we had a beach cleanup where Amanda drove, and we had the period fund, which was amazing. We had $368 that we've given to the young Dems. So those are all great things that we as a club do. So I just ask for your vote and your support. And I look forward to seeing everyone once the pandemic is over, hopefully face to face, and we can do some cheering. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliva. Are there any additional nominations for board of directors number 3? All right, hearing none, by acclamation, Oliva Fernandez, congratulations, welcome back to the board. Yes, congratulations, thank you. Yes, Ariel, my apologies, I misspoke. So the vice president, secretary, and parliamentarian positions are filling out. The terms were filled in 2020. Board seats 1 and 3 are for the full 2-year terms. So those seats that were should have been elected in March of 2020 and lasted until March of 2022. But we had our elections in June of 2020 due to the pandemic, are filling out the remainder of that term. So vice president, secretary, and parliamentarian are filling out the remainder of that term. That is correct. My apologies for misspeaking, Ariel. And board of directors seats 1 and 3, that is for the full 2-year term. So that will go until so March 2021 until March 2023. That is what the terms are. All right, we will move into, is there any new business for this evening now that we've finished conducting our elections? All right, hearing none, congratulations to the newly elected board of directors members. I will be in touch with you through your personal emails to get you set up on your new Miami Beach Democratic Club accounts. And we'll be chatting in the coming days. And thank you all so much. Our next meeting will be held on Monday, April the 19th, I believe is the date, at 7 p.m. Always keep your eye out. Yes, April 19th. Always keep an eye out on our social medias and your emails. We'll be keeping you guys informed of what's going on. Thank you all so much. Have a great night, guys.